Rock music isn't dead, but it's definitely not mainstream anymore. There are no mainstream outlets for rock music. Think about it. There was a time where you would hear rock music on the radio, see it on MTV, catch it on TRL. You would hear it in a movie or a video game soundtrack. But now, the best chance a rock band has at going mainstream is going viral on TikTok. Don't don't look at me like that. I know what TikToks you're watching. But there is a mainstream outlet where rock music can thrive, and it's an outlet that's bigger, louder, and more popular than a lot of people realize. And oddly enough, that outlet is professional wrestling. So how can professional wrestling help rock music and vice versa? Well, first we need to start off with the downfall of rock music in mainstream pop culture. When was the last time that rock music was popular? And I don't mean just rock music, but I mean emo, pop punk rock, metal, metalcore, ska, nu metal. When was the last time that rock music was popular and it was in mainstream pop culture? A lot of people probably go to the early 2000s, that pop punk scene with Simple Plan, Good Charlotte, Sum 41, Blink 182, those bands were everywhere. Or maybe you go to like 2004 to 2008, Taking Back Sunday, Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, Paramore were all at the height of their popularity. But after 2008, we enter the dark days, where rock music started losing popularity. And it's not that rock music stopped, there was still great rock music happening, but it wasn't in pop culture anymore. And it was a combination of things. A lot of those popular rock bands that I just mentioned either broke up or just stopped playing rock music. And there were no more mainstream outlets for that type of music. Bands like Blink 182, My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy all went on hiatus. Music on MTV went away, and streaming music and apps became a thing, so music got devalued. Another important thing that happened here was really the death of rock radio. Radio in general isn't what it once was, but specifically here, look at rock radio, or just think about the last time that you even listened to rock radio. Sure, it's still around, but they're playing the same 10 to 20 legacy bands that they were playing 20 years ago. It's Nirvana and the Red Hot Chili Peppers and maybe the Foo Fighters like 100 times a day, and that's about it. It always blows my mind that modern rock radio, not the classic rock stuff, I understand that and I understand that appeal, but if you're out there and you're calling yourself a modern rock radio station and you're not playing Knocked Loose, Poppy, Spirit Box, Turnstile, what are you doing? We did have the emo and pop punk revival of the 2010s with bands like The Story So Far, Neck Deep, Modern Baseball, and The Wonder Years, and as much as I love that era of music, those are my high school and college years, so I'm super nostalgic for the 2010 scene. That era of rock music wasn't anywhere close to as popular as what came before. And while rock music didn't completely fade away, I mean, of course, we had bands like Bring Me the Horizon, Pierce the Veil, Avenged Sevenfold, A Day to Remember, Green Day, all of those bands had success as far as rock music goes, but as a whole, rock music wasn't popular. It was not in the mainstream. Rock music did have a little comeback in recent years. Emo and pop punk kind of had a mini revival. Warped Tour is back, My Chemical Romance is back, and a band like My Chemical Romance is more profitable than ever. A new word, elder emo, was created for all of this nostalgia. You also had mainstream artists dipping their toes into pop punk and rock music. Machine Gun Kelly, whether you like him or not, did release 2 pop punk albums. Avril Lavigne returned to making pop punk, and Demi Lovato made a pretty straight up rock album with a little bit of pop punk in there as well. Blink 182 with Tom DeLonge is back, Linkin Park is back, Knocked Loose and Poppy are on network TV, and Turnstile is having their big moment right now as well. But how do we get rock music back into the mainstream? And not just for the legacy nostalgia acts, but for new and upcoming bands as well. And I think that is where pro wrestling comes in. If you aren't aware, pro wrestling has never been more popular or more profitable. The WWE just signed a $1 billion deal with ESPN. AEW, the second most popular professional wrestling organization, is owned by Tony Khan, who also owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. They just renewed a $185 million deal with Warner. Wrestling is on TV 5 days a week, and that is year-round. Sports content, as a whole, really, is literally the only reason that TV still exists. Just look at the 100 most watched TV shows in 2024. Wrestling has never had a bigger platform, and that is where rock music comes in, because a relationship between professional wrestling and rock music would not be something new. In the 80s, we had the rock and wrestling connection with the WWF and MTV. In the 90s, rock music was all over professional wrestling. One example I always love is DDP using a blatant ripoff of Smells Like Teen Spirit as his theme song. Triple H had Motorhead, and I mean Limp Bizkit was basically part of The Undertaker's entire character. And now, in current day, CM Punk and Cult of Personality by Living Colour are basically synonymous with each other. Sami Zayn is out here wearing Propaganda merch, Poppy performed for EO Sky, and Code Orange has done numerous theme songs. And what about video games? Where has all the rock music gone from video games? Obviously, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater introduced so many people to new rock music, and I know it's back now, but WWE games back in the day did the same. WWE video game soundtracks had Rise Against, 3 Days Grace, Avenged Sevenfold. These games shaped taste in music the way that TikTok does today. And recently we had Motionless in White perform Rhea Ripley's theme song. They also played her out at Wrestlemania. Becky Lynch's new song is by The Wonder Years, and Hot Mulligan wrote the new song for AEW's Kyle Fletcher. Wrestling has been and is one of the last places where rock music is in the mainstream. So if you couldn't tell, I am a hardcore wrestling fan, and I know the other hardcore fans are going to agree with what I have to say, that in recent years, wrestling theme songs, wrestling promo packages or hype packages, whatever you want to call them, have gone so downhill that it's unbelievable. So basically, to sum it up very quickly, every wrestling theme song that you are nostalgic for, even if you're a casual fan, was created by Jim Johnston, who worked for the WWE from 1985 to 2017. And ever since he left, the songs now are boring, bland, forgettable. They're nothing. Something needs to change. Wrestling needs better music, and rock music needs a mainstream outlet. Can you imagine if, like, Paramore and My Chemical Romance were creating songs for wrestlers? Or what about Knocked Loose or Turnstile? Turnstile's perfect. How a wrestler has not picked a Turnstile song to be their entrance theme is beyond me. I can think of like 10 that are perfect right now. Imagine a WWE video game soundtrack that has up-and-coming rock bands, just like Tony Hawk did back in the day, or even sports games. Madden's soundtrack used to be great, or MLB, or the NHL games. Imagine all of these rock bands getting to have this mainstream outlet of casual fans who might never hear their music otherwise. And imagine all the sing-alongs. Rock music isn't dead. It just needs a tag team partner. Pro wrestling can be the mainstream outlet to help rock music be exciting again. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please like the video. It really helps me out, really helps the channel out. Please subscribe if you haven't. And again, thank you so much for watching. It's so funny because my mom actually got me this t-shirt like in '08 at the height of John Cena and Super Cena's popularity and all that stuff. And, she didn't know any better. I was a cool, wrestling fan and hated everything about John Cena. And of course, my mom got me a John Cena shirt because she at least knew who that was because he was so popular. And I hated it, never wore it at the time. And now, all these years later, I'm so happy that she made me keep it.